Hi there, you guys. Okay, I am back, and this morning we were talking about cutting down those tomatillos. So I want to show you what I got accomplished here. So, whoops, excuse me. I cut down that one, and you can see I still have my basil plants here that I'm keeping in the pots. That's a opal purple basil, and funny enough, when it's in the sun it loses its purple, but when it's in the shade it is more purple. I'll show you what I mean. And this is a Thai basil, and then here, this was one of the other tomatillo plants, and this is a lemon basil, and this is another Thai basil. Now look at those marigolds, how they're going crazy. Those were the ones I started from seed. I've never seen marigolds get so big. They're so happy. They love being under that tree. My alyssum is starting to die back a little bit because of the heat. And so if you remember, this is where we planted the romas. You can see that we got romas coming in here. Look at that. Yay! And this is one of the basils that I am letting go to seed to bring in more pollinators. And then I have the romas and basil planted all along here. Now, so this basil right here, this opal basil, is a little bit more in the shade, so you can see that it's got a little bit more of the purple on it. Now, if you want a bushier plant, you take this, and you see where you got the two leaves coming out on either side of this, right here and right here. You take this, go down to that where that crotch is right there. Let's see if I can get that in there better. Right there, that crotch, and just pinch that off. And that's going to encourage that to bush out some more and get bushier. And here again, you got two leaves right there. Right there. Snip. You see, we took all of that off, and we're left with that, and it'll get nice and bushy. Now here, I did that here too. You see that? But I didn't go down far enough, so that stem is still all right here. So you want to go down there and you want to pinch that off. My goodness. There we go. That'll encourage that a little bit more. I did the same thing there. I didn't go down far enough on that one either. There we go. Okay. And then right here, these ones in the middle are shorter than the rest of them, and Tom and I are thinking that that is because this cherry tree is right here, and it might be shading this little area a little bit more, causing that them not to grow as big. So let's go on the other side of the cherry tree. And as we're passing that, here's the kumquat. You can see all these beautiful flowers coming up on the kumquat tree. I'm so excited. I love kumquats. Look at all of those. So we should get a pretty good harvest off of those. And here's some more of my alyssum that I have under that tree. I always try to do some kind of ground cover under the trees to help. Oh, look. See if we can see him getting in there. See that little bee getting in there? Oh, there he goes, flying away. They're busy. We have wasps in here too. Let me see if I can catch this one. Oh, he's fast. I'm gonna make you guys dizzy trying to catch him on camera. Look at all the flowers on the tomato plants. We have all kinds of romas coming up in here. Okay. And down in this one, oh, look at that. Hello, salsa, here we come. So here's another one. So you see that where it's flowering right there? Find your two. I want to go a little bit lower. Let's see. I don't want it that tall. I want it to branch out more. So when I have a scissors, I'll actually cut it right here at that base where those two are coming out there. But those are some thick stems. Might rip out the whole plant. You guys, it is really hot right now. It is up in the hundreds. We're supposed to be to 108 today. So we worked out here this morning, and this is where we're putting those blackberries and raspberries, is right here in this corner. And we're thinking it'll get more of that. It's starting to shade a little bit already, so we're thinking it'll get more of that afternoon shade in this corner, because where we have it right now, it's getting full afternoon sun, and the leaves are burning up. So we got the posts in. Tom uses these beautiful Gothic posts, and then he cemented those in. You can see that right there, where we cemented that in the corners and back in that corner to secure that wall. That'll help protect that. So that's all we'll be doing back there today. So the rest of this won't get done until next weekend. So that's a project to put on the books for next weekend. You ever get so many projects, you just can't get everything done. And when fruit tends to feel like there's too much on it, it will, sometimes the fruit will fall off. And we've had a couple apples fall off the vine, and we opened them up, and oh my goodness, they're already getting so juicy. I can't wait until they're ready, because as juicy as they already are, I can't imagine how wonderful those are going to be. So what else did I want to show you? Okay, something got after this. I don't know if I showed you that already. Look at this poor plant. I'm thinking it was the, goodness, I've been after them all morning. It'll come to me. Because here's all the rest of the squash plants. Squash bug, the squash bug. Because look at all the rest of my squash plants. They're beautiful. And see how this is a good example of tying it up. See how here's the base, and as those flowers go higher, like up here, you can cut all of the branches off, and that keeps the mold and mildew from getting onto your leaves, because it's not sitting on the ground. And it also helps you to be able to see any of those squash bugs, which this morning I killed 5 of them. And like I said, we found all of those eggs. Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. This is what I'm talking about right here. I'll see if I can get this for you. Look at that. It's up here further. I'm trying to see it on the camera. You see all that? Look at all that black. I feel like I'm getting it on camera here. Okay, so right there it is. Okay, there they are. You see that? Those are those eggs that those squash bugs are laying. So I'm gonna cut this one off, and I am going to throw it in the barbecue pit, and I'm going to burn them, because we don't need those. Don't need them at all. So it helps to come out and look at your garden all the time to see what is going on. Hopefully I'm not, okay, I'm not covering it. I'm trying not to cover anything up so you can hear me and see me at the same time. And I wish I could see if I could see one of those squash bugs right now, I would show it to you, but I might try to find a picture of one and just stick it on here so you know what it looks like if you haven't seen one. So I had 2 other tomato plants, and it was just way too crowded. So I took those out this morning. And then my yellow pear was all over the place. I mean, it was just scattered everywhere in here. So I took that and I trellised it up better. You know, they're indeterminate, so they just go everywhere. But look at all these babies, and they're so good. So got that done. And then, like I said, I took out that tomatillo plant that was there. You can still see the stem right there. And there was another one right here. And then I had another one, oh, right here was that one. And then another one was here. And then the other one was there. So next time I do anything back here, I'm going to fill this area with a cattle panel, so I have a better trellising system for that. And this is where I had my garlic, and we had pulled that out. And then look at this. Look, I got little, you see them? Little eggplant babies. I got another one right here. Oh, look at that, you guys. Look at that. Oh, these birds. Well, I'm gonna have to pull that one. But I got two more nice ones right here that I can take out. We might have some eggplant parmesan this week for dinner. Okay. So now, the other thing that we accomplished was getting up more shade, because that sun comes in this way from the west. We get that western hit on this corner right here. So we put up, it's 40% on top, and then it's 50% with this one here. If it's too much, we'll take it down, but with it getting up into the 110s this week, I want to get these guys protected. But look at this. We'll go in here. Look at that. A little watermelon baby right there. And then we come down here, and we got another one right there. Now I have some slings that I ordered off of Amazon. It wasn't a bad price. It was like 50 of them for under $20. So hopefully they're a good product. It looked like they had good reviews. We'll see what they look like and how they work. But I know I had another one in here. But look at this guy. He's climbed all the way up over that trellis. He's really happy in here. And our roselles, look at that. They're starting to flower up. That's exciting. And they're doing it on this side too. And then on this side, this is our Kajari melon. I know I saw a melon on here earlier. Oh yeah, right there. See that little baby? And the loofah's starting to climb. Look at that. I didn't think he was even gonna make it. And we got another little watermelon. Oh, look at that. I just love it. And our Malabar spinach is starting to take off. And they're climbing up the trellis. Now here we have, I believe this was the, let me see here. Yeah, this is the Amish melon right here. Look at how big that is. I need to put that in the sling too. And then some of our sunflowers are dying back a little bit. And look at this, you guys. This is that Lysianthus I told you about. Look at all the blooms that are gonna come up on this. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful flower. And these melons are always wanting to take over, so you have to watch them every day. I'll have to trellis that one back up here again. So they're always trying to sprawl. So you can see that shade cloth better over here. So the 40%'s up there on the top, right there. And then coming down, you can see on that side over there, we put the 50%, but we don't have it on this side because this side will get that shade coming up this afternoon. You want to go see the bees? Have our little water bath. Oh, a bunch of them just flew away. You see them? Little bee babies. They love the water bath. They're always swarming around in here, coming to get water. They're busy. They need a drink. Okay, so now that's what's going on outside. The poor chickens, they're having a heck of a time. Our pump went out on our fan, so they're only getting the fan and not the cool air that comes with it. That comes in on Monday. We'll have to fix that. And I'm gonna go in right now and start shredding up some zucchini. So here I have these 3 green zucchinis and then the 2 yellow. And I went out to my pepper plant yesterday and look at this. They are all, their skin is soft and it's turning yellow and it's getting sunburnt, and it's just, you can see it better on this one where they're not even fully developed and they're just, the sun is just beating on them. So these ones I'll probably have to put in my compost because we're not going to be able to work with those. So I'm going to chop the ends off of these. I'm going to peel them and then I'm going to put them, you remember these? The old food processors that our moms and dads used to have? This one still works amazingly. So I'm going to shred these up and then I'm going to put them in Ziploc bags for the freezer, 2 cups each, because that's what most recipes call for. And we'll see what we come up with. Okay everybody, as you can tell, I've got these peeled and the ends cut off of them. And that bigger one, when they get bigger like that, the seeds get a lot bigger. So I had to take the seeds out of this one. And then we can dice it up or chop it up and throw it into the machine. I'm gonna make these a little bit smaller and then we'll throw them all into the food processor and get them shredded up. Guess what, you guys? I just sliced my cucumbers, or my zucchini. Because I had it up on slicer instead of up on shred. So, I got pretty little sliced zucchini. Oh well, it all freezes just the same, and it'll all work just the same. When I'm putting it in a recipe, I'll just run it through the shredder. Alright, we are back. I did decide to just shred that right away because I really didn't want slices. So I've got 1.5 bags right now and we're going to finish this up. Better consistency. Okay, you guys, we got 3 quart-sized bags of the shredded zucchini in the freezer. Now, have any of you ever seen this? This is an Armenian cucumber. It's actually in the melon family, so it's got a thicker rind, and when you open it up, I'll show you. We're going to cut it down the center. Actually, I want to peel it first, so I think it'll be easier to peel before. Cutting it. I'm going to pickle them. I'm just going to do a refrigerator pickle, so I'm not too worried about getting all of the rind off. I feel like I want a little bit of the rind on there. But when you're peeling it, it smells like a cucumber. Now when you open it, okay, I don't know if you can see in there. Those seeds are pretty big. They're more like a melon. Some of them are like cucumber. They're not that big yet, but the bigger this gets, the bigger the seeds get and the softer it gets. So doing it earlier helps to prevent that, and you don't have to de-seed it as much. I am going to take out some of the seeds. Excuse me, I'm getting a spoon. And right now I have on my stove, I have some jars that I am sterilizing. Just going to take out some of these seeds. And then I'm going to do spears. You could do slices or spears, but I'm going to do spears once those jars are done. Kind of look like little celery sticks. So I'm going to make them like this, and then I'm going to stack them in the jars and make a brine, and I'll give you the recipe for that brine and how I made it, and we'll go from there. Okay, you guys, I was getting ready to do the China Jades. So I showed you the Armenians, and these are the China Jades. These are slicers also. So I thought, well, I'll go out to the garden just to make sure that I don't have any more before I decide to put these in jars to do refrigerator pickles. Okay, so let me grab the phone here. Okay, here we go. These were all outside. And I had just checked a few days ago. When you're doing your cucumbers, you have to check every couple of days because, for one, these things grow like weeds, and they're very prolific. So we've got 4 more of those, and then we've got 3 more of the China Jades. I think I can do 1 quart jar of the China Jades today, but then I think I'm going to switch over from refrigerator to canning and preserve them for longer shelf life, so we have them in our pantry. So today I'm going to do 3 of the pints of the slicers that we did that are like this of the Armenians, and then I'm going to slice these ones like this of the China Jade and see what we come up with in a quart, and then from here on out we'll be pickling them for the canning and putting in a pantry. Okay everyone, we are back, and right now you can see, don't pay attention to all my messes around here, but this is my brine coming up to a boil. And turn it down just a little bit. Okay, I have 2 of the pints of the Armenian cucumbers in the slices, and I'm doing the China Jades sliced like this with the skins on in the quart. I'm going to finish getting this brine ready, and then I will be pouring that into these jars, and then it will come down to room temperature. Once it does that, we'll put it in the refrigerator, and it will have to sit for several days. Okay, I've got the brine in. You guys, I was right at the tea. Look at that, it's empty, and I doubled the recipe. So I used 3 cups of white distilled vinegar, 4 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt, and I use kosher salt. You never want to use iodized salt when you're cooking. It can turn your vegetables brown over time. And 2 teaspoons of peppercorns, and I used one of our fresh garlics from the garden, and I put 3 full cloves in each one, but I split them up so they were smaller pieces. And then to give one of them some spice, I added one of our cayenne peppers, so you can see that in there. And look at that, isn't that beautiful? And here's the other one. See, I pushed those garlic cloves down further into the jar. And then once this cools for an hour, I'm going to take some of our homegrown dill. I'm going to take 2 spears and put them into the jars also. You don't want to put them into the jars when they're still really hot, because it will wilt the spears. So I'm going to wait till it cools off for a while. Then I'm going to put the dill spears in, put my lids on, and stick them in the refrigerator. And I'm going to leave mine for a good week before I even open them up and try them, just so that they can start absorbing all that liquid. So we'll have to see how this tastes. We'll do a follow-up.